Hi there, how are you? A quick video about Facebook advertising. This is paid advertising, right? Paid Facebook advertising versus paid YouTube advertising versus paid Google Adwords on Google search advertising versus LinkedIn paid advertising, right? Those major platforms. What's the differences, right? Okay. The differences are in cost and targeting and eventual conversion, right? So here's the thing. Google is like the first revolutionary provider of this type of services, right? And the strength of Google, and this is Google SEM, right? AdWords. The strength of it is that when people search for anything, they tell Google exactly what they want at exactly the right time. For that reason, it's had really great conversions, because if you can appear there in the results and you provide exactly what people want, guess what? They'll buy it because it's exactly what they're telling Google they want right now. Problem with Google AdWords is that over time, since they've gotten established as the #1 best place to advertise, the clicks from them are really expensive. So even though people might convert, it may not be profitably. Okay, that's a problem. And that's why you have a lot of times it's prudent to look elsewhere. Another place people can look is Facebook marketing. That's advertising. Marketing is the free stuff, advertising is the paid stuff. The Facebook advertising, you don't have that intent. People don't tell you what they want, but over time, Facebook gets to know all the interests and hobbies of these people. Okay, and so you can target by interests and hobbies, which is something Google cannot give you. Google gives you what they want at that time. Facebook gives you general interests and hobbies and patterns and behaviors and things like that. So if maybe people like fashion, that's how you target them, right? On Facebook. Facebook will give you cheaper clicks, right? But people there aren't shopping, right? The people are on Facebook to kind of enjoy themselves, waste some time, look at pictures. It's a lighter, they're not shopping, right? So also kind of think about whether your product really makes sense for the consumer experience on Facebook. Now, let's talk about LinkedIn. I actually recently tried to advertise on LinkedIn, and I tried to target exactly the same audience as I did on the Facebook advertising. And on Facebook advertising, it was costing me like 78 cents a click. And LinkedIn was going to cost me like $4 a click. And I was selling like a $2.99 product, right? So, I mean, even if I get 100% conversion, I'll still lose money with that price. I mean, it just wasn't a good price for me. So I ran the thing just for $50 just to see how it would convert. I made a couple of sales, but I mean, I wasted pretty much. I just did the experiment, but I kind of wasted the money just to do the experiment. Because one thing with advertising, you have to be prepared before you find the stuff that really works. Because once you start finding the stuff that works, you can just press the gas on it and go to the moon. But before you find what works, you have to be okay with wasting a little bit of money. Yeah, with experimenting. If you don't experiment, if you don't take that risk, that's the problem with the advertising, the paid advertising, because it's risky. You have to spend some cash, and it's an unpleasant thing, but you have to, because you got to find that green pasture. You just won't unless you do it, right? So anyway, so LinkedIn is very expensive. You can also target by interest, and it's very good for professional and business things. In fact, my products are like entrepreneur/business focused. So it was a good fit for me in terms of that kind of person I'm targeting, but it wasn't a good fit for me in terms of pricing. It was very expensive. So LinkedIn I found to be very expensive. Now, here's the cheapest option. YouTube ads. You can make a YouTube video, maybe like just a talking head video like this genre here. And so they're cheap, relatively cheap to create. You can explain your product really well because you're the creator. You can explain all the benefits a person will get. And you can promote the video on YouTube. And you'll be surprised because you can get views for pennies a view. Where it took you maybe $4 for one click from LinkedIn, you will be surprised. You might get like a couple of hundred views for those same $4 on YouTube. So YouTube, creating advertisements right from YouTube doesn't give you as great targeting as other platforms, but it's the cheapest sort of way to get exposure into people, right? People, they'll it's per view, so they have to actually look at your video for some length of time. And if you're able to hook them with the video, if the video actually addresses their pain points and their desires, then that can be a really good option for you. So those are really the considerations between the four. This is the overview between the four major advertising platforms. So whatever works for your business, for your product, try that and see how it works.